tremendous victory in the end. There's confirmation of the first quarterfinal, low-scoring affair. Australia 63, Canada 42. Both teams shooting below 40, so just on the low 40 mark in terms of percentage numbers. Games coming up, Turkey, Serbia. That'll be a packed house in this arena. 10,000 people will amass here for Turkey versus Serbia. That's the third game, and then the late game tonight, USA would take on the mighty France in a matchup or rematch of a game that was 2 weeks ago where France did triumph in the preparation games. Well, it will be the Chinese onto the floor first of all, and some unknown names on that roster, although head coach Tom Mayer, head coach of Australia and Great Britain at 2 Olympics, will be hoping that this team go from here to win the Asian Championships and qualify for the Olympics in 2016. There's Mayer to the left there, and the Chinese players will come onto the floor pretty quickly. We got the courtside announcer involved. First on floor is Yang Liwei, followed by Chen Xiaojiao, Li Meng Xiaoting, who's the very, very accomplished post player. 26 minutes and 23 points in that playoff against Belarus, and a comeback victory it was. They were down and buried in the second and third period. So the Chinese team are on the floor. There is Coach Ma, Australian. He spent 3 or 4 years with the Great Britain program in preparation for those London Olympics. Down the other end, the Spanish team, as I said before, 3-0 victories over Japan fairly comfortably, Brazil fairly comfortably, and then even the Czech Republic were dispatched with ease. Spain will at a high points total of 83 against the Brazilians and 67 against the Czech Republic. 67-43 they won that game. Very convincing defense. These players play out and about Europe, headed by Sancho Little, the number 14. Born in St. Vincent in the Caribbean. Now naturalized Spanish player. Anna Cruz comes off the bench. Last on the floor. The coaching staff, Lucas Mondello, head coach in China. We'll have the national anthems first of all, that of China first, followed by that of Spain.
Well, the national anthems have been played of China and Spain here ahead of their quarterfinal at the FIBA World Championship for women. Well, hello everybody. If you're just tuning in, we're in Istanbul, the FIBA World Championship for women, the quarterfinals. Today's referees from Argentina, Venezuela, and Korea. And the game is Spain against China. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Mick Bett. And you have been able to watch Spain play. I've been able to watch China play. So as we look at this China team, I'll offer some thoughts real quick. One player who has really almost come out of nowhere from my vantage point is Xiao Ting. She really carried the team in their last game against Belarus, making some big shots, and also the exciting youngster Yang Li Wei. But the starting lineup will be Chen Xiaojia, Lu Wen, Qing Feng, Gao Song, and Huang Hongtan. And how important was that win for them in that last game to get to the quarterfinals? Let's put it this way. These girls were in tears. They were under a lot of pressure, and they didn't know how far they could go under Tom Mar. And now they've made it to the game against Spain. And you're now going to tell us who to look out for in the Spanish squad. Typical
Tom Mar team, Jeff, I'd say. You know, they play hard-nosed, defensively, never give up. I mean, that's a trademark of Mar's team. As for Spain, you know, to me, it's what lies on the bench and comes off the bench that should be most dangerous to Tom Mar. And if you look at Dominguez and Ana Cruz, number 15, Dominguez, 6 is Sylvia. Dominguez is 6 and Cruz is 15, excuse me. They offer so much experience coming off that bench and so much speed. They've gone with his 5 right through the tournament, all 3 games previous to this. Sancho Little has to be possibly the best player in the tournament, although the Americans would offer 2 or 3 players as a replacement for that honor of MVP, but she is a force to be reckoned with, and if she gets going, then the Chinese need to be very, very wary.
And I guess that'll be no surprise, since Sancho Little was last year the MVP of the Eurobasket Women in France, and Alba Torrens was outstanding as well. So Sancho Little, there you have it. Look at those stats for this tournament. I mean, what's happened to her production? She should be doing a lot better. Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous.
I love to see her play because she has the 15-foot off the backboard, the bank shot, the old school bank shot. Jeff, you remember that shot? It was all we had.
Well, Gao Song has been good in patches for China, and clearly their efforts will be aided if she can get on track early. And the same could be said for Lu Wen, in fact. Tom Mar, you know, it's a process. His team finished 3rd at the FIBA Asian Championship for women last year. Perhaps expectations on the outside weren't that high, but he's arrived in Istanbul and I think surprised some people back home by getting to the quarterfinals, whereas Lucas Mandelo, the standard is so high for Spain. And make no mistake about it, this Spanish team also carrying some of the burden of trying to help people get over back home the disappointment of the men's team losing in the quarterfinals when they hosted the FIBA Basketball World Cup.
I'm not sure that memory will get a raise no matter what happens here, but you know, look at China, Jeff. They took about 3rd last year in the FIBA Asia. Both other 2 teams that fell above them in that tournament are out of the tournament on their way home, or perhaps arrived home. China's the last man standing in that Asia region. They've got to be wary today because Sancho Little and Laura Nichols provide this force inside that becomes intimidating, and everything gets pushed out to the perimeter. Every shot becomes a lot more pressurized. China have to come with a good start here. Leah Blau and Alba Torrens, they've got 2 of the toughest guards in Europe as well.
Well, Lucas Mandelo should have some insight into this China team because he's been coaching in China, in the Chinese CBA. And in that sense, you might think that he would have the advantage, but listen, Tom Mar also knows the Spanish players. He keeps an eye on them. The coach has watched them over the years. There's no more Amaya Valdemaro or Lisa Aguilar or Ana Montaña in this national team, but it remains a potent team, and they are looking to scale the heights here in Istanbul.
Jeff, look at the Chinese players. You saw them play last week. They look like they've been going through some weight programs, conditioning programs that look a lot stronger.
Well, hello everybody. It's the FIBA World Championship for Women quarterfinal tipping off here. Spain against China in the Fenerbahce Arena. And a China team that pushed the USA quite hard in the first half of their meeting in Group D. Comes out against another of the powerhouses in this tournament. Galsong goes in, and Laura Nichols with a rebound for Spain.
Jeff, we saw with the Canadian game as Marcus Jargue misses a shot. The Canadian game, if they don't take chances early on, the underdog will get themselves into all sorts of problems.
Chen Xiaojia guarded by the captain, Laya Palau. Back outside. Chen Xiaojia, good! She drills the three, and China have drawn first blood.
That was one of those orbital threes, wasn't it? Way up into the skies here. It just came down to nothing but net.
That's exactly what she did against the USA. She hit a couple of threes early. Now Sancho Little, just a soft touch, and nobody within a kilometer of her. Look at that.
Tom Mars completely beside himself with the defensive rotations on that.
Cheng Fang gets it outside and out of bounds. Lu Wen. So turns it back over to Spain.
Yeah, one of those mistakes you can ill afford to make, isn't it? Catch the ball, you don't know where your feet are, you're out of bounds. Not a great error.
Lu Wen was an all-tournament performer at the FIBA Asia Championship for women. She was guarding Jargue. Little's shot off the back of the rim. Ching Fang, who has the ball, was instrumental in their comeback against Belarus. Chen over to Lu Wen for three. And Torrens with the rebound. Torrens, perhaps one of the more versatile players in international basketball. Jargue, her shot rims out. Chen Xiaojia now for China.
A good tempo for China here. They've got to keep it low scoring. I think China would, Japan and Spain would prefer a much more high scoring, free flowing game. Defense just holding strong. They're going to get some points out of their offense. Now, can they get some points inside? I think that'll be key. Can they get points against Sancho Little?
Lu Wen, her pass intercepted by Little. Now Torrens, 2-on-1 fast break with Palau. And Torrens takes it all the way and misses.
Jeff, I could see what Torrens was trying to do, but she never really moved the defense around. Ended up with just a flick shot instead of a hoop shot going through the hoop.
Huang Hongpen. Now Cheng Fang puts it on the floor and goes right past Sancho Little, but misses the shot. Well, bounce pass inside to Laura Nichols, and coming from behind, the foul on Chen.
Chen Xiaojia. You know, when you have someone like Little who can just charge up in the air and elevate so quickly on the weak side, that's the icebreaker that Spain have. And so often they've had to draw from her reserves to pull games out of the bank. She's all 3 points for Spain.
31 years of age, Sancho Little, and makes the second.
You wonder when the boots might get hung up for Little. Will she go to the Olympics and call that a day? Maybe 2019 will be the next World Championship, Jeff. We're a ways away.
Well, she looks pretty good right now. Cheng Fang's pass intercepted, and now Torrens unselfishly gives it to Marta Jargue and forces Tom Mar to call a timeout. Spain take a 6-3 lead here early against China. Three turnovers for China, and with those turnovers often come points, and points off turnovers.
This is Tom Mar in this timeout, and he's gone down each one of the 5 that's on the floor and just pointing the clipboard at him and showed exactly what they've done wrong. What makes me laugh is the emotion in Tom Ma, and then the interpreter can't quite get that emotion across. He's just translating words. But you know what? I love that about Tom Ma, because everybody's responsible out there. You cannot say, okay, this is a team that needs to be treated nicely or with kid gloves. You know, you get on the floor, you get that responsibility, and you know what? If you don't take responsibility, then you need to answer some questions. Full stop. Tom Ma is an absolute diamond in demanding perfection out of his players. More of those timeouts, please. That was good to watch.
Well, I think that probably the players can understand the emotion from Mar, so
well,
the translator's job is just to...
If you let mistakes go and you don't make people accountable, then they'll just keep becoming more mistakes.
Palau guarding Chen. And another turnover, the fourth turnover. Torrens up ahead to Palau. Laya Palau, a veteran in this team, gets it inside. Laura Nichols, and Laura Nichols with an easy reverse.
You know, Palau's defender, when Lu En was just backing off her, and she just showed her the shot. That brought the space to dump it down to Nichols.
Chen gets it over to Cheng Fang. And Lu En now. Gao Song, and Song buries the long jumper.
That's against Little too, so Central Little didn't close out there very well. Didn't want to offer a hand up, but she might have to next time.
Chance of Espana here inside the Fenerbahce Arena. Foul called against China.
It's Cheng Feng, Jeff. All she did was get in the way of Sancho Little. She's a little lucky herself she didn't get the foul, because she's really aggressive with a forearm. Here you go, see underneath the basket there.
I'm having a hard time understanding how that was a foul on Cheng Feng. Torrens into Sancho Little, the alley-oop pass. And Lu En grabs the miss.
Little just turned to the referee there. Victor Sales tugged a bit. That's a great move.
Yang, the 19-year-old, it's exactly what she did. And the Abdi Apechi, she pushed the ball up the floor quickly. But another foul now, and this one on Xiao Ting.
Yes, this move is so soft with the touch off the backboard. I think she catches Little with the hand across the face. She did.
And she went up off the right foot and not the left foot. And I think that's what caught perhaps Little as a pretty good shot blocker. Off guard. Torrens crossover twice. Pulls up at the line. Good!
Yeah, Alba Torrens. You know, Jeff, she's going to Russia next year. She's on some good money, I think. I understand the contract, and she's worth every penny of it.
Well, she is electric. Now, Yang has the pass tipped. Little comes up. Up it goes to Torrens. Torrens back to Jargai and uses the glass. And this Spain team is born to run. And right now, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, Tomar again upset with the turnover and points down the other end. I guess you could forgive turnovers if they don't turn to too many points.
Boy, good job, Xiao Ting, to get rid of that ball after she slipped down. But Lai Palau knocked it out of Yang's hands. Another 2-on-1 break. And Jargai faked the look off, and now it triggers a fast break for China. Lu En, pump fake, goes in. Spain hustle back and play defense and get the block.
Yes, that move was banned about 20 years ago with the jump stop and step through. Don't think it is illegal at all.
That was Alba Torrens with the block. Xiao Ting for three, that's short. And Torrens with the rebound.
China now are in that intimidation factor. Not taking particularly great shots. And the defense of Spain is really holding causing all sorts of problems.
Well, inside it goes once again, this time to Sancho Little, and China in danger of being run out of the gym by Little in Spain. It's 14-5. Lu En. Don't forget, this is a China team that played the USA and trailed by 7 at halftime. Huang Hongpen. So it's not like they haven't played good competition. And maybe that says something about Spain. They've been able to come out and get on top here early. And yet again, this time Sancho Little's pass leads Torrens just a little too much. Lu Wen, fouled by Laia Palau. That'll be the first foul in China.
Strategic foul there from Laia Palau. You don't often see it at the foul line, but she knew full well what she was doing.
And Ji Yanyan is going to come in for China. Well, they're giving a clinic right now to Spain, aren't they, on how to get into the fast break.
Well, I would say it's just that's a natural course. What's happening is the Chinese are really being tentative with the passing. The defense has been handing the passing lane from Spain. That initiates and ignites the fast break straight away, and it's around about the foul line. Therefore, they're getting numbers down easily.
Yang into the line, spins. Oh, that is a fearless move from the teenager, but can't get it to drop.
It's just Sancho Little flying from behind trying to block that shot. He didn't get a piece of it. Good enough to bother it.
Sun Mengran's going to come in for China at the next dead ball. And Yang with the rebound.
Mondello might give Little a rest in a minute. That wasn't a great shot from Little there.
Xiaoting. And traveling, this time the call, Xiaoting.
Mondello's got an interesting conundrum here. You see the travel, just that extra step. Interesting conundrum. He leads by 9, 2:34 left. He's got to rest his play at some point. And nobody has come off the bench for Spain. This is very strange at this point. I'm sure that's what they're talking about, the assistant coach of Mondello.
Well, Sancho Little, you see her bending over. She's got her hands on her knees.
Maybe one more offense out of this 5, and then we'll get the subs in.
Laia Palau goes behind her back and just puts it up off the glass and in.
Yeah, he's making hay right now while the sun is shining.
Chen Xiaojia, China on the ropes here early against Spain. Gao Song, short miss, and Laura Nichols with another rebound. She's got 4 already. Laia Palau looks at Sancho Little, and Little missed an alley-oop for the second time in the game. Laia Palau raised her hand over at the bench as if to say, "Take me out, coach. I'm breathing hard."
Absolutely. I'm surprised Mondello's not nobody lined up yet. He's just going to let him run. They're getting points at will.
Torrens up ahead, pulls up, and China fortunate that they're not trailing by more.
Well, this 5 is sucking air right now. Here's the first sub. Mondello can't get to the end of the quarter.
Good strong move from Gao Song. Draws the foul, I think, by Jargai. So at least she's going to have free throws. And the substitutions are coming up for Spain. So Silvia Dominguez, Ana Cruz both come in. That's beautiful behind the back drive from one of Spain's all-time greats, Laia Palau.
Yet the Spanish do have a couple of subs coming in for the bigs, and that's Silvia Pascua and Laura Gil. Lucila Pascua and Laura Gil. I'm surprised one of them hasn't at least touched the floor this first quarter, because Sancho Little has got hands on knees. That means that the deeper this team goes into this tournament, they're not going to trust the reserves off the bench for that 4 and 5 position. Well, these two in the game, Dominguez and Cruz, they're electric.
Nice pass again, Sancho Little, and Ji Yanyan couldn't do anything against Sancho Little, one of the premier post players low post players in the world. Entry pass, Xiaoting gets it over to Yang. Ji Yanyan, 3 is good from Ji Yanyan. So finally something falls for China.
That was well worked. Low post double team. They got it out 1 pass, moved it on 1 more. And that will be give them a lot of confidence. They're still going to solve this Little problem.
Well, this time Sun Mengran steps in front of Little. And Sancho Little, a tougher shot really than what she had taken the previous 2 trips. And she just looked over at the bench and said, "Take me out, coach." It's almost as if he's trying to push her stretch her out of her comfort zone here, because certainly she's not comfortable. For the last 6 seconds of the quarter.
I don't know. I don't imagine she won't start the second quarter. She set Lara Gill down. He's just bringing McGill out and they set her down.
Well, the stoppage in play has allowed Little to catch her breath, but she was definitely asking to be taken out. The final 5 seconds of the first quarter. Xiao Tang puts up a three, and Cruz rebounds. So I think Mondello and Spain will take that lead. They've got 20-9 in the quarterfinal here over China in the FIBA World Championship for women.
Oh, big key stat for Jeff. In this first period will be the turnovers. We'll see them in a minute, but China 1 of 9 inside, 2 of 5 outside. Spain punching up 50%. They haven't hit a 3 yet. Spain have missed a couple of layups too. And the rebounds not really significant for either team. It's just been a story of the fast break so far.
Yeah, interestingly, in the fast break, Spain only have 4 points, but they've been pushing it.
There's your 8 turnovers for China. That's what Tom Ma will look at. If he's got somebody with the accurate stats down there, there's nothing you do. You can't tell your kids, don't turn the ball over. You just got to get them focused, get them concentrated, and hope everything else will take care of it. So.
That's right, 20-9. Spain on top of China after the first quarter of play in this quarterfinal. Spain trying to get back to the podium yet again. Remember, they got the 3rd place in 2010 in the Czech Republic. That was the first time they got to the podium at a World Championship for women.
Jeff Little and Nichols in the game. A little bit of zone here for China. New matchup.
Jargai puts it over the rim, and Little gets it, just decides to put it up, and she misses it. And Jargai hustles to the ball, brings it back to Spain, to Dominguez. Dominguez off the back of the rim, and Hong Kong Pan with the rebound.
3 offenses there for Spain. Come up with nothing. 2 earned the air balls. The defense will now pick up with Cruz and Dominguez in the game. They are relentless.
Chin picks up the dribble, bounce pass to Gao Song. Had to shoot over Sancho Little.
Yeah, it looks like Mondello's going to ride Little and Nichols all the way in this game. Get as much as he can out of them.
Cruz drives, misses. Lu Wen now. Lu Wen over to Huang. Now Cheng Feng. And Dominguez back for Spain. Well, it could be worse for China. They're only down 20-9, but you just wonder, is the dam about to break? An avalanche of points about to come for Spain. Cruz hands it off to Sancho Little, and Little goes up and just floats in there for 2.
Tell you what, Dominguez and Cruz, Jeff, they play very well together. It's that typical Spanish. They love to link their guards up together. Pascual comes in to give one of the bigs a break.
I'm sure that Sancho Little be hoping that it's her. Chin gets in. Over to Gao Song. 5 on the shot clock. Gao puts it up. And a nice move from Gao Song, a player that we highlighted. It was crucial for China at the start of the game.
Good move. Created contact with Little. Actually got her off balance. You just see who they bring out, which of Nichols and Little races to the bench to get a break.
And Anna Cruz misses, but another opportunity. Boy, they were getting a lot of extra shots, Spain.
Yeah, all of a sudden, rebounding wasn't an issue the first quarter, but it is for China right now.
Laura Nichols, tough shot on the baseline. Ching Fang with the rebound. Ching Fang. Huang. And Marta Zhargai reaches in there. She's a hard worker, Zhargai.
Yeah, she is outstanding. She's the defensive stopper for the Spanish team. She'll get the break here. And Little, that sigh of relief on the face, Jeff, she comes out.
So she's just played all 13 minutes so far.
The 4 players played all 10 minutes in the first quarter. I don't think I've seen that this tournament yet. It shows you how important these quarterfinals are for coaches.
Gao Song and Laura Nichols goes up with the rebound, but then throws an elbow to kind of clear out.
Good call. Good call right under the referee's nose. Shouting, the one that got the recipient of this elbow.
Mondello was shouting at Nichols, and you could see this. He was like, I know I made a mistake. I'm sorry. You don't have to tell me. Lu Win comes off the baseline, but Sylvie Dominguez is there for the steal. Outlet to Cruz. Cruz left her feet with nowhere to go there.
Yeah, Cruz is such a good player. A lot of speed with her, but a little out of control. They're short of options, really.
Chow to Chen. Goes up. And Pasqua does a good job defensively. Albatorns now for Spain.
Yeah, Chen just missed a big opportunity. That's what we talked about in these games against these good teams. You have to make everything count. Play your best game.
Anna Cruz goes up and has an N1 coming.
Outstanding work from Anna Cruz. Jeff, where does the help come from on this? Because Cruz has beaten the 5 to step out in the pick and roll for speed. Somebody has to come and help, whether it's strong side or weak side.
Well, with that play right there, Anna Cruz taking the lead at 24-11. China have decided to burn a timeout.
Are you getting a heart attack every time you catch the ball? You shot an air ball from 6 inches, mate.
Field goal percentage 41% for Spain, 21% for China. And you're seeing for the first time my co-commentator, Tom Marr in action. It's always one of those things that's worth the price of admission.
Well, exactly right. I know you heard that, Jeff. Tom Marr turned to one girl and said, you've airballed a shot from 6 inches. Translate that one.
Was he talking to Chen Zhaozha?
Sure.
Points in the paint, 8 of 14 for Spain, 0% for China. They missed all 9 of their shots.
You know, all Tom Marr's trying to do is trying to build up this inner resilience, this inner fight to get back in a game. This game is, there's no way it's over. They trail by 13. That wasn't the 2 that they gave up to get the timeout. But Anna Cruz scored herself before that. This team needs to just step a level up in intensity, drop some shots. In fact, you know, that'll be his biggest frustration. They've had opportunities and not taken them.
Well, Anna Cruz at the line here. Chance to finish off a 3-point play. And she does. And Spain now have their biggest lead of the game, 25-11. Gao Song brings it across midcourt, gets it to Xiao Ting. Xiao Ting drives in, takes a tough shot. Gao Song with the rebound. Ball didn't hit the rim, so only 9 on the shot clock. Chen. Gao Song. Back to Chen. She's going to have to put up from 3. And Chao Ting hustles, but the ball goes out of bounds over to Spain. And right now, China do not look comfortable on offense.
No, and half the problem is they get crowded for space. The Spanish are making them put the ball on the floor, and that is the problem because they're not quite as comfortable dribbling the ball as the Spanish kids are. As Torrance shows you right there. And another offensive rebound. Tom Mayer's just looking down the bench. He's trying to find a rebounder. Where's she gone?
He's going to bring in Huang Jing, next player. I don't think she played against Belarus. Now, Alba Torrens into Pasqua. Pasqua turns and misses, follows the shot.
That's unfortunate. Pasquale's got a good opportunity there, and a look at the putback too.
Torrens out on Chen Feng. Xiao Ting. Gao Song. Just one shot.
Yeah, no layups either, and that's the problem. Every shot has a lot of pressure attached to it. Now they have to make it. No offensive rebounds. They're one and done every time.
Right, Palau holding her midsection like she took a shot. Pasqua passes into the hands of Chen.
Now you understand why Mondello needed minutes out of Little and Nichols. Great move.
Oh, there's Xiao Ting. Oh, she doesn't finish this time. She didn't miss that shot against any of the opponents, really, in the Abdi Apeche.
And those things have to drop. If you're going to beat a team like the Spanish, you have to make those little chippies in there.
Well, Cruz just goes right down the lane, and she misses. Both teams missing, and finally, Cheng Fang with a layup for China, and Lucas Mondello has seen enough. He's going to call a timeout. One more look at the pass up ahead to Cheng. That's a 12-point lead. China right now just about hanging in there.
Well, Sancho Little's going to come back in the game. She was on the subs bench before the timeout was called. And if you look up, Jeff, 12 out of the 25 for Spain have been scored by Little. You know, this team relies on Sancho Little, but you don't want it to be a situation where that's all they've got offensively. Other players have to really be involved in the rotations and take responsibility if you want to score.
Well, generally, Alba Torrens will be pouring in a lot more points. She came into this game averaging 12.7 points per game. And Ana Cruz, 12.3 points per game.
They weren't really tested down in up in Ankara. Only the Czech Republic we thought when the game went to the deciding game, 2 unbeaten teams, and the Czech Republic just got rolled off the water. It was about 24 to this team, and they were really pretty irresistible that night. But once they get ahead and they get the smell that the game is going to be won, they tend to relax. They don't really pile on the pressure.
You know, it's interesting. We were thinking Australia maybe had not played as tough opponents as Canada, but they came out and put on a clinic really against Canada for much of the game. And now looking at this team, Spain, perhaps their group wasn't as hard as Group B, but they've certainly come out overall and established themselves as the front runners in this game.
Yeah, you know, Jeff, when you see a Pasqua is scoring, you know, China have got some real problems because she's the backup post player and that not known for her points production.
Huang Jing, and nothing working for China.
They look long down to Little.
She catches it, puts it up, and arrested Little. Takes the lead to 16.
Sorry to interrupt. There aren't many people that actually catch that ball. That was way up there.
Desperate times for China. 3 minutes to go in the first half, and another turnover that's been forced, and Torrens just goes right down the lane. Oftentimes it seems like Spain would be better served not to force that shot up on the fast break. Xiao Tang bounce pass to Huang Ping, and she misses, Huang Hongpen.
Well, they're going to struggle. They're not going to get close to 20 this half, that's for sure. They're going to struggle to get 15 on the board the way they're playing. They've got 13 now. Just cannot take advantage of anything given to them.
Torrens turns around, and Spain now leading by 18. You see Penny Taylor, the star, one of the stars of the Australian team, looking on. Torrens now with 4 points. Traveling against Xiaoting.
Jeff, you say Spain, you told the coach, Tom Maher, before the game, Spain would be in the 30s, low 30s at halftime. Tom Maher would have taken that. Well, unfortunately, he probably can't hack is the fact his team have only got 13 themselves.
China shooting just 17% inside the arc, 19% overall. And that ball hits off Lu Wen's back and into the hands of Yang. And her pass tapped, I think, by Palau. Now the outlet to Torrens. Catches it, spins, takes it all the way. And there you have it, folks. Alba Torrens. And it's a 20-point lead for Spain.
And that's the look-away move. I think she was looking for it a couple of times early in the game. That one comes up good.
Ji Yanyan fouled by Anna Cruz. A little bit of relief for China. And, you know, these things don't happen by accident. Look how heavy the breathing is for Anna Cruz. She is hustling out there. So Spain overall, they're really playing at a fast pace. Cruz comes out.
I think Anna Cruz is phenomenal. To me, there's every reason that she should be starting on this team. And maybe the reason she doesn't start is because of the impact that she has coming off the bench. Because Martha Jargai must be looking over her shoulder wondering, am I going to lose this starting position or not?
Well, Laya Palau, China get it back to a 19-point game. Cruz wasn't even in the team last year that won the Eurobasket women title. So it just goes to show how much talent Spain have. Torrens spins, puts it up in the lane. Oh, terrific rebound from Laura Nichols.
Outstanding work, isn't it? Just the position itself. Looks like she might be injured. Come down on the position she's got. That means that the defender, Sun, has to just move her out the way, pull her by the arm.
9 rebounds for Laura Nichols. Pass to Little. And Little was trying to get her front court mate into some points production here.
Jeff, she's had 9 rebounds the last turnover. Poor play from China. And 9 rebounds the last 2 games previous to this, so it's not a bad little run of 3 games in a row.
Well, 49 seconds remaining here in the first half, and Sancho Little and Spain are like a runaway train right now. And the alluring Marta Jargai misses. Now back to Chen Xiaojia. Huang Jing. And that three-pointer could not have come at a better time, really.
Absolutely. That will get them some consolation at halftime, but looking at that scoreline, not much.
Chance of España with about 5-second differential on the game clock and the shot clock. Palau to Little. Palau, 3 on the shot clock, puts it up. Good. Well, she is perfect at the end of a quarter. Lu Wen fouled by Marta Jargai. It's just the 3rd foul on Spain, so that's a very good foul by Jargai.
China out of timeouts here. He'd love to take one, I think. Just to run up this last 2.2 seconds with a play, but Tom Maher will have to rest on his team's ability to execute here.
Yuri Martinez is going to come in for Spain, the veteran, for Marta Jargai to play some defense on Ji Yanyan. Huang Jing comes out to receive it. And the pass, Laura Gil also comes in. Sun, and Sun puts up an air ball. And it's a good thing the buzzer sounded when it did, because Maya Palau, who has hit a few of those shots in her career from the 3/4 length court, doesn't launch one. Spain lead at 35-17 at halftime.
Well, there's your stats, Jeff. China shooting 3 of 18 and 19. Looks like it's
19.
19 and 3 of 9. So they've made as many threes as many twos. Rebounding highly in favor of Spain. You look at the defense, offensive rebound, 8 offensive for Spain.
But look at the steals, 10 steals for Spain.
Belonging to those 12 turnovers from China.
Sancho Little with 14 points. She was the focal point of the attack, and Nichols give her the award for the stat of desire, the 9 rebounds. 5 steals as well for Little. So she's not just a player that goes out and gets her shots. She's working hard on defense.
Yeah, I don't think you get on this team unless you can put some effort in defensively. They're a tough outfit. As strong as the Australians are, the Spanish team is also a very mean defensive team.
Stick around for second half action.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give me applause for Exponential. And now on the stage, with your big applause, Stayers Show. 失礼します。お世話になります。しかし、会社でした、オーケストラのさ、あなたがでしょう。ありがとう。 As the basketball court, the fastest is the winner. Everyone wants to go you want that. The court 69, the break acceleration tsunami. Pretty break the total engineer. The total court of speed. Now, pick up the ball. The court 69 with the speed below the court. 69, quickest. I can play. Peak.
Well, it's all one-way traffic right now here in Istanbul, where it's a city famous for its traffic, in fact. But right now, it's not the type of traffic. It doesn't look like China's going to get out of it anytime soon. They trailed 35-17 against Spain in the quarterfinals of this FIBA World Championship for women. And Lucas Mondello and Spain arrived as the defending champions of Europe. The first time they've ever achieved that, and now they're trying to go one step further here at the FIBA World Championship for women. They got a bronze back in the Czech Republic in 2010. And I suppose, Mick, really, judging from Spain's performance early on against China, they have to be considered one of the teams that team like the United States trouble should they get into that final. If the United States, of course, can navigate their difficult journey, they have to face Australia as well. If they can win their game tonight, not looking too far ahead, which I am.
So what you're saying is we don't know. But you're right. If Spain come through this, that will put them in a matchup with possibly Turkey or Serbia. Fancy Turkey going to play one in front of all the fans tonight. They'll be there in that semi-final.
But, you know,
everything tells you about the Spanish team. They can go all the way to the final and cause problems for the USA. Anybody, really. As long as Sancho Little can get points on the board. You see it today in this game against China. Mondello's put a lot of faith in her. 10 minutes the first quarter, didn't take her out. A lot of minutes in the second quarter too. So by the final, and come Sunday time, will there be many minutes left in those legs with Sancho Little?
If you're Tom Maher, really, I think you have to be disappointed, because you could be trailing, but this game should be closer. If they could have made some shots. But you know what? They've had to take shots under duress. And when you're being chased all over the court by Spain, sometimes you get knocked out of your rhythm.
Well, he's just mentioned two words there: pushed around and bullied around. And that's where he feels that this team has really intimidated his Chinese team. And that's something they have to overcome. Whether they're going to overcome it now, but it's that mental resilience that Tom Maher always expects of his players. And somebody has to rise to the top of this group and be the provider.
Well, it's the FIBA World Championship for women, third quarter action underway here in Istanbul. Spain looking to build on their 18-point lead, and China looking to claw their way back. The way Spain play, they could give up some points in a hurry, but China have to start making some shots. And Hong Hong-Pen hits the turnaround jumper, so that's a good start for China.
Only do it offense by offense. There's no point thinking with 16 down, we're going to start panic shooting.
Alba Torrens passes outside to Laya Palau. And as the brass band starts up, China's level of play increases. Maybe that's the secret. Lu Wen out to Ching Fang. And the pass right into the hands of Palau. Laya, the captain, her bounce pass stolen by Lu Wen.
Yeah, there's an element about the Spanish team that just gets too relaxed. Wants to go deep in the lane. I'm not sure why Cheng Fang needed to go to the three-point line on a 2-on-1.
Ball batted out of bounds off of Spanish hand here. That was Torrens. 13 on the shot clock. Cheng Feng into the lane. Over to Gao Song. And Nichols with the rebound.
Nichols showed so much style of play last week, Jeff, that it looked like he's improved, worked on a game this summer.
She's a seasoned campaigner really for Spain and in the EuroLeague women, the various clubs.
That's a no match in the back of that rebounding on the weak side there with Sancho Little matched up against Wen Lu.
Yep, Lu Wen. Now Chen. Teams tied up, and China will maintain possession. But as you can see, they have to work on every possession. The Chinese, the Spain quickness is relentless, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a good defense there from China, though, turning over Mata Xia on that jump ball.
Sancho Little with the long jump shot, and
that's the problem, Jeff. You know, Sancho Little 16 out of 37. You know, you cannot stop everybody in the Spanish team. But you've got to stop Sancho Little getting the points. Or at least try a bit harder, perhaps.
Lu Wen. Gao Song fakes, drives into the lane. Sancho Little went for the block and certainly affected the shot. But sometimes even when she doesn't get the block, she's making China work even harder.
Yeah, you just know she's there. So, and therefore you've got it in the back of your mind. Where do I need to put this ball so it won't get blocked? Against China, so they're getting their opportunities, China. Substitutions in the game after 2 minutes and 24 seconds. So Tom Ma searched around to find 5 players that could get the job done. Ian. This is Yang, the point guard.
Well, Alba Torrens crossover right in front of G and puts up kind of a fall-away shot and draws a foul. I'm not sure I would foul her in this situation.
No, Lu's the one that fouled it coming from the 3-point line. Well, Lu Wen gets it mixed up.
You know, looking at Torrens as well as Nichols, the great youth teams of Spain, you know, you've got to have good youth teams, and both of them have come from the youth ranks. They both made their senior debuts for Spain back at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in 2008. So they're young, but still, you know, they've got a lot of games under their belts.
Yeah, Jeff, I don't think you become one of the top players in Europe without having developed at the junior level and high levels too. Torrens for 3.
Good! Alba Torrens!
Outstanding. That's better. Anything China do now to start this half off has been completely negated. 23 the lead.
Lu Wen. Spin move, tough move. She scores in the lane.
That is a very good move, wasn't it? But trying to get the defense up in the air, and then drove, turned. Good contact at the end to finish the move.
Sancho Little, draw guy. Brendan Joyce made a really good observation in the press conference I'll tell you about for Australia after their game. The ball goes out of bounds. The ball goes over to Spain. Here it is again, another look at it. He was, oh no, the ball's going to be China's ball, excuse me. Well, I'll tell you when we get a stoppage in play what Brendan Joyce said.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, just hold your horses. The foul on Alba Torrens. Well, it's not that great, but he was just, he said, I'm really wrapped for Australia. And he was really pleased. And then he said, you know what, in every single game we're playing a different style of basketball, and we've been able to cope. And just watching Spain play, they play a different style of basketball to really any other team in Europe, from what I can tell. I mean, they play as fast as you can play.
Yeah, they play freestyle. And, you know, you look at Leah Blau and Alba Torrens, you've got 2 of the most creative players in Europe. You forget the trundling up and down and run offset offense. They're quite happy in the open floor, being creative and being the ones that the showmen, if you want. Showtime come to Spain, Spanish basketball.
Well, it's an attractive style of basketball without question. See Nichols over on the sideline. And G then picked off by Torrens. It's just the pressure is just nonstop. And then Torrens gets it back to Little, who floats in and banks it in. And Spain are putting even more pain on this China team.
And you know, every Spanish player knows if you run the lanes, you run the floor, you'll get a pass, and that pass to Little way behind Torrens in the end.
Huang Hongpen tries to post up, and the ball goes out of bounds off of China.
They can't get to the ball to save a life, can they? I think she's had 3 or 4 post-ups, and they've looked her and looked her away every time.
Do you think that other countries, you know, over the years, really Spain, one issue for them has been the size factor. Have not had the big players, the women's teams, and the naturalization of Little and the emergence of Nichols, I think, has made them more formidable inside.
Oh, absolutely. You know, when Sancho Little moves on, where's the replacement going to come from? Because she is, you know, she's the best of her kind. It's just automatic. 20 now for Little.
Yep, 20 for Little, but what's interesting is Spain has this fast, free-flowing style of basketball, and so they haven't really lost that style, even though they've got a couple of players that can get out playing that low post. And Maya Palau comes out of the game, receives applause from her teammates. Dominguez comes back in. In many ways, when you watch Spain play, it's probably the closest thing you see to the USA, how they play the game, in terms of pushing it up the floor quickly. Some Mingran misses from long range.
Yeah, that's what they're resorted to now. The 4-man, Sun shooting 3-pointers. They cannot fire easy 2 for Alvin here. But
Torrens draws the foul. Sun can hit the 3, but everything is rushed.
And you know, that's his second rebounder if you want. So if you're going to set her up for a 3, then you've got to create the space or to give her the time to get it. Sometimes if it's a one-pass offense, then the defense closes out fairly quickly.
Li Ming is the other 19-year-old in this China team. She's in the game. And she was guilty of that last foul, as China now trail 47-21. And I think Spain, with this performance, are probably catching the attention of everybody else in this tournament. Yeah. Shall we say they're throwing down the gauntlet? Is it too early?
Absolutely. No, you're right.
Xiao Ting misses, and the ball goes out of bounds.
And I like the style that Tom Mars brought to this team. They're quite happy playing the...
You're talking about China.
Yeah. So they're quite happy playing a speed up game. The finishing for these Chinese kids against the top teams. This is where you have to measure yourself against the very best in the world. They've got to a 2-3 zone now to try and stem the tide of points. There's a lob play to
Little fouled as she goes up for the alley-oop. Probably one of the few players that can attempt this type of shot.
Well, that's the element of Chinese players that are missing that. She rises above anybody on this court.
Xiao Ting with the foul coming from behind. Nuri Martinez is going to come in and expel somebody. Ana Cruz is already in for Spain.
I don't think I can see them taking out possibly Little and putting Martinez in and going a little small here. No point. They're going to take out Shargay. I don't see the point of running Little's legs up with a 28-point lead. 14 minutes to go, Jeff. At some point, they're going to bring her out and keep her out.
Tournament 51% free throw shooting. Spain 89% today, and that's something that has to remain really for Spain as they get deeper into the tournament. It's hard to believe they've only shot 51% from the free throw line, but they've also blown out all of their opponents. So I suppose in a way that's not that significant of a stat. Yang puts up a tough shot. Well, there's no question that she's a huge talent. her first 2 points of the game. We've seen plenty of moves from her in this tournament. Maria Martinez, been around for a while. Cruz, pass inside to Nichols. Out to Dominguez. I don't think she beat the three. Oh, she did.
I think you're right, Jeff. The referee's blown it away. One referee's given it.
Can they not look at that on the replay?
Yeah, they've given it. I thought one referee was going to give sideline ball for a minute. I don't think that was inside the 24.
Well, Yang comes up, penetrates. Up it goes to Huang. And Torrens over to Martinez. And long attempt, no good. Now Li Ming. Yang puts up a three. Zhao. And offensive foul called on Zhang, boxing out. Trying to clear out.
Yeah, she did exactly right. Right arm just went flying into Martinez there. Martinez hit the deck quickly. This might be the last we see of Sancho Little. Great game she's had, 22 points tonight. Can't see they'd risk her again. I can't see this. A 29-point lead, Jeff. There's no way that China will... well, you never know. Stranger things have happened, I guess.
Yep. Well, Nuria Martinez, while she's out there, see the offensive foul being called against Spain. Nuria Martinez playing in this Spain team for the first time since the 2010 FIBA World Championship. So she hasn't been there the previous three years. Zhang over to Sun. Ball goes out of bounds.
Good looking play there. Zhang was wide open on the catch, never really got control. Slight bump from Pasqua. And the referee's quite happy to give it to China for another chance.
Dominguez for the reach. And good strong move from Sun.
I think that's an element that Tom Mars brought to this team. The ability in the 4/5 to put the ball on the floor and go hard to the hoops. Good move from Sun.
Well, timeout. Lucas Mondello and Spain. They're on top, 52-25 here at the FIBA World Championship for women.
Y algunas situaciones de cuernos con Kylo. Pero vamos a invertir rápido, puertas atrás y atacar. ¿De acuerdo? Y apoyar todas las ofensivas que hagamos. ¿De acuerdo? En defensa.
Well, you have seen Spain play the entire time, Vic. Is this as well as they've played in this tournament?
Yes, no doubt about it. They're just about on full swung right now. That was the high for Sancho Little in terms of her points production. And Laura Nichols as the foil, the partner in crime for that 1-2 matchup. Getting better and better. You look at Torrens and Palau, look at their numbers. They're really just sleeping giants, those two, because they will get better the deeper this goes into the tournament. If they were to play Turkey at home in this arena tomorrow night, that will be a challenge for this team, and a challenge they're more than capable of overcoming.
Well, I'm sure they would thrive in the. They would hope that the arena would be packed. That's why you come to the FIBA World Championship for women. And Sun completes the three-point play. Certainly, Tamar has a lot of good talent at his disposal, and just wonder with China and their players, they play in the CBA. You know, might they be one or two be better served to try their luck in Europe or even the WNBA? You never know. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Dominguez puts it up. It's good.
Tough move, Sylvia Dominguez. It's a good point, Jeff, but I think that the plan for the Chinese league is to go the other way, i.e. create a league where players want to go there and play. And it's happening with the men's league. I think they've Redlicha from Serbia signed there now. We're back with a lot of NBA players. Nice
Li Ming for three for China. And the 19-year-old shows you how it's done.
It's now a 25-point game. They're just getting back inch by inch.
Martinez. And just a little slow getting there, I think, Pasqua. Xiaoting spins, but then has the ball taken away from Dominguez. And she passes up to Martinez. Beautiful basketball from Spain. Cruz finishes.
Well, you know what? Martinez never got back on defense. Therefore, she was ahead of the pack. The bounce pass to Cruz was made because of Cruz's great hands with the ball. It wasn't a great pass to her.
Xiaoting fouled from behind, and another three-point play opportunity for the Chinese. Tom Mar, he's going to coach to the end here.
This is close to being a travel from Xiaoting. Just cope with the pressure, step through.
This is a player that has to be big for China, certainly. Over the years to come, she misses the free throw, hands it off, and another foul called on Spain.
It's very similar to the Canada game, Jeff. When Canada went 20 down, they all of a sudden started to play a bit more freer, with a bit more confidence, and that's exactly what China's found this third period.
Nick, one point that you have to make is that this China team, just average age 23.5 years. So it's a team that in some ways lacks experience, and it's still growing up.
Jeff, this game's not over, but at 24, you think, okay, Spain look like they should run in and win this one. So you're only judged by what your performance is. So you go to the FIBA Asia next year to qualify for the Olympics. Only one team fouling there against China, I think, Jeff. Offensive foul against 13's Sun.
Well, you just never know what to expect from one year to the next from a team, but clearly China took some positive steps from last year's performance at the FIBA Asia Championship for women.
So next year
they need to continue.
Yep. And then if one team qualifies for the Olympics, will it be China, Korea, or Japan? China will be hoping it's them, and that is it. They've got such a huge population of players to choose from.
Don't forget Chinese Taipei.
Or the Philippines.
That's right, the Philippines will be in the mix. Yep, because they qualified for the elite division in Asia. Pasquale misses that. And Li Ming's attempt. And quickly over to Dominguez here, the final minute of the first quarter. And also you've got India, which will play in the top. Quickly, Lucia Pasqua and Huang Jing wraps up Pasqua. And the ball goes to China.
You see if Pasqua comes in with a wonderful rebound, gets tied up, and the referee has said that's going to be a jump ball, lose possession. Very upset with the amount of effort she put in the result.
This may be the most crucial player for Spain moving forward is Yang. The 19-year-old over to Sun. Nice three, and that's why you saw that three attempt earlier. She can shoot it. And overall, on balance, her tournament's been really strong, Sun. So China, with 9 seconds remaining in the third quarter here, trying to get a stop. But goes out to Sylvia Dominguez, and China dodged that bullet. They're down 56-35 with 10 minutes remaining.
If they got it back to 21, it was 29, so they've worked their way back into it, a little more confident. They're quite freestyle right now with their shooting. You see the stats may have picked up a bit in the third period. China 28% inside, 38 outside. If they got a couple more threes to drop down, their fortunes might improve a little. Spain have gone off the boil a little. They were at 50% down to 45. Rebounding heavily in favor of Spain as it was at halftime, and assists 15-7. An element of the Chinese game, Jeff, that needs to improve. And 19 turnovers there, 10 more turnovers than the Spanish team right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our second show. Thank you.
Fourth quarter about to start here. 56 to Spain, 35 to China. It was close to 30 points. Tom Mars keeping his team in that huddle over there. He's still got a few more words. He's been seen every end of the spectrum as far as calmness in this game so far. And the Chinese team will emerge to your right there. Second quarter final. 3 quarters done. 10 minutes left. Chance to get into that semi-final. We'll match up with Turkey or Serbia tomorrow night.
So Marta Jargai out there handling it, Sancho Little. So the horses back on the court for Spain, and a turnover to Lewin.
Good move from foul from layup allowed. Good move from Lucas Mondello, Jeff, because at 21, what he doesn't want is leave Little on the bench, and all of a sudden 5 points get rattled off, and he's in a ball game again.
Well, China believe this thing isn't over.
And that's a typical Tom Martin. Weren't they down big to Belarus? Came back to win it.
They were down 13 at the start of the fourth quarter. They've proved they can come back. I think Spain probably better than Belarus, but without question, fourth quarter has been kind to China, and Chen gets in and gets it back to a 19-point deficit.
Well, they're playing more direct now, more positive basketball, just attacking that hoop. Nice move from Chen off the backboard. Now they've got a whole court here.
Chen went out on Nichols, now Palau, and Palau is fouled. Chen committed the foul, her third.
There's a reach right down from left, you right, you screen there. There's no way you can reach like that. You've got to reach upwards of anything. Your coaches tell you to reach upwards, not downwards. Flip the ball up in the air.
Palau at the line. And she sinks the first. She came in shooting only 50% at the line, which seems a little low for her.
They went 12 of 26, Jeff, against Brazil. Really ruined their averages as far as free throw percentages.
Well, she makes 1 of 2 there, so that's right on her percentage. Gao. Chen. And really, when you're down this much, already the clock is the enemy. They need to get production on every trip down the floor and not turn it over like this. Here's Alba Torrens, and Little hustles down and provides an option.
Nice play from Alba Torrens. I don't think she needed to pass it up, just made sure.
Cheng Fang in the corner. What about Torrens now? Chen pulls up for 3. And Jargai with the rebound. Palau. We've already seen Australia win today against Canada to reach the quarterfinals. And Nichols and Spain look like they're going to join them. That soft touch in the lane there from Nichols takes it back to a 61-37 advantage.
I just think that element of that game has improved for Laura Nichols so much just in the space of that 3 or 4 months since I've seen her play last.
5 on the shot clock, and Gal's 3 no good. Sancho Little with the rebound.
If I don't mind that shot, but at least get somebody in to get a missed a rebound perhaps, and all rebounders on the perimeter.
Torrens for 3, short, and China don't grab the rebound. That allows Torrens to put up another one.
Spain just taking a few liberties right now with the Chinese defense. Not really looking at options or discipline. Quite happy to jack it up.
I think Lucas Mandela was going to say something, and he said, we're up 20.
Look, they get turnovers 3-on-1 here.
Jargai back to Torrens, and Torrens just lays it up. And just when we thought China had a sliver of hope, Spain come out and basically extinguish it. They lead it 63-37. 7 minutes and 6 seconds remaining with that Alba Torrens fast break.
Yeah, when you get a 3-on-1 and you got bodies don't get back, that's enough for Tom Ma to let's get together and talk it over.
It's never a trespass overextended hand.
23 points off 10 turnovers. Spain and China just 4 off 21 turnovers.
Listen, where's the flow of offense?
Interesting there, Jeff. Tom Ma's talking about it's never a chest pass over extended hands. He's just talking about basic fundamentals of passing the basketball. The chest pass is something that's taught from a very early age, but only if you've got angles to the receiver. You've got hands up, you can't make a chest pass over, you've got to get your hands up as well. Make an overhead pass, flip it down.
Let me say that stat that we saw, points after turnovers, China have 4, and they've turned it over 21 times.
21, wow.
Whereas Spain have 23 points off turnovers, and they've turned it over only 10 times, just to clarify that.
Well, I think we talked about that in the first half. The turnovers for China up on the three-point line at the point guard position. Therefore, there's every opportunity for Spain to get down and get numbers on the break. 3-on-1, 2-on-1, 1-on-0 sometimes in the first half.
Well, 63-37, the defending champions of Europe, one of the teams perhaps to beat here at this tournament, having their way with China. Gao Song, that's a good move from her.
I think China are going to get to the next level, i.e. get to the top 4 in the world. They've got to produce players. They've got to have 1 or 2 players that are world class, and they're all about the same standard. And you look at the Spanish team, there's definite class in that team, headed by Little, really.
And Huang Hongpen pushes over Alba Torrens.
I think that would be to me, that would be a biggest observation coming out of this for Chinese basketball. We've seen the under-17s play over the summer. A foul there from Huang, just pushing down Torrens. Is that the ability to produce the exceptional player is not there, is it?
Well, Yang has got a lot of potential. She's on the ball right now. Marta Jargai. And Cheng Fang read the defense. Lu Wen. Lu Wen dribbles, gets it to Gao Song, but the ball goes out of bounds. You pretty much knew when Alba Torrens was coming up that she was exceptional. She was going to be exceptional.
Exactly right.
But she was a teenager.
And she was tried and tested against all the best in Europe. So that's the competition you're facing. What competition does these Chinese kids get? Look at the men's league. You got Zhao Ming, Yi, the 2 exceptional players that China have produced in the last 10 years. And now you're looking for the next generation coming through. A little short on that jump shot. And the same for the women's team. You've got to produce exceptional players if you want to be an exceptional talent in the team in the world.
Alba Torrens gets it, just brings it out. Spain used to have a player called Amaya Valdemaro. She stopped playing after last year.
I was in the hotel last night, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She's a great play. Little missed another one.
She remains one of the faces of Spanish basketball, but Torrens most definitely, you would say, probably is right now. And Lu Win gets ahead on the fast break.
Jeff, even Leah Palau is just an exceptional mind for playing the game. She understands the game, she reads the game. But we're talking about these kids play this game from a very young age in Spain against very good competition.
Oh. Talk about Alba Torrens, the three-pointer.
Took your glory away, Jeff, sorry. It just shows you again. I said the other day, I didn't think Torrens was as good a shooter as she needed to be. She rattled off 3 threes in a row.
She's got 17 points. And Calzón has the ball knocked away. Here's Torrens again behind the back. Alba Torrens, and she went too deep that time. Now Yang, and Leah Palau says, I can't be bothered to play D, I'm just going to foul. 4 fouls on the captain. So that'll be it for Torrens, probably Sancho Little, Leah Palau, as Pascua, Dominguez, and Cruz come back in.
Tomar's got another timeout here, Jeff. This should finish it for the big guns for Spain. They'll take a rest here from 25 up. Jeff, you go back to the old days of fundamental basketball in the world, and the stories used to come out of America, the great players, how many shots they used to take a day. Larry Bird, the story goes, he took 5,000 shots a day. That's what these players have to do. You want to get to the next level, you've got to be dribbling for half an hour a day on your own, so work on your ball handling. That's what it takes to be the very best in the world.
So the good shooting percentages there for both teams here in the fourth quarter. You are indeed right. And Alba Torrens, when she played for Spain back in 2008 at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament, she was only 18, and then she turned 19 at the Olympics when they were playing in Beijing. So that was 2008. Now we're 6 years later. And just goes to show how many years she's got. But don't forget, she's also overcome a torn ACL that she suffered a couple years ago. So she has that. She is that special talent that you can see on that release right there. Maybe if I had one criticism of Alba Torrens is that sometimes on the fast break she may try to, whatever happens, she's taking it to the rack, or she kind of doesn't hold up and pull the ball back out. But I'm almost splitting hairs. Ji Yan Yan.
First time I've seen Spain in a zone as well, Jeff, on that sideline. I met Lucas Mondelo just trying a few things here, closing out this game. Yeah, it's a good point. They're all good points, and I still go back to it. Once you produce juniors that are coming through the ranks and are ranked in the world level and are playing against top players year in, year out, which the Spanish do when they go to these European competitions, that is a problem that China will face. You have to now deep in and look deep and find out what programs these young kids are going through. But they'll get there. Tom Ma's a good coach.
Cruz for 3 for Spain. Nichols hustles and gets it back. So with 3:59 remaining, Spain closing in on a big win over China to get to the semifinals of the FIBA World Championship for women. Dominguez loses it. Nichols hustles back, gets it to Dominguez.
He heads off the prop. You get a steal and you give it straight back. So profligate with the ball, really.
Yep, there's nothing like profligacy. Jargai for 3! Marta Jargai, one of the tough defenders for Spain, goes out and shows that she can stroke it as well. It's her first 3 in 4 attempts. Li Ming brings some rain with that attempt. China 5 of 18 from 3-point range. And Son McGrath goes up, a nice move, uses the glass.
Yeah, that was a nice move, wasn't it? Very fundamentally sound. Look over the left shoulder, turn to the right.
Son now has 8 points.
Chinese playing with a little more confidence now against the zone, finding more space.
Nichols misses. Looked like she was kind of falling away, or falling to the side when she took that shot. Marta Jargai reaches in and commits the foul. Ji Yan Yan. And Laura Gil, Leonora Rodriguez come in for Laura Nichols and Marta Jargai. And look at the high fives all the way around on the bench there. You see Li Ming, and she draws it. A lot of these girls have been through the Perfumerias Avenida since Salamanca, probably arguably the best supported team in Spain, one of the best supported in Europe. Leonora Rodriguez is one of those. She's also one of the Spaniards who's played American college basketball. She played at Florida State.
And that's a increasing factor in Spanish basketball right now. A lot of players now going to America for their education because there isn't as much financial backing in the league back home.
Certainly the Spanish Federation does a terrific job with their programs overall. They keep them busy during the summers. There's Dominguez in the lane. Now over to Ana Cruz. And Cruz short.
The difference is, Jeff, kids are playing, aren't they, from a very young age in the clubs, and that is so beneficial. They're getting great coaching.
Ji Yan Yan misses. Huang Jing tried to bat it out, but she almost started a fast break there for Spain.
Look at this ball movement against the zone. It's so fluid. The flash to the high post in a minute. There.
It's great to see Laura Gil playing. She was an important part of last year's team, then had a serious knee injury. She battled back to make this team. Sun making that score more respectable for Spain. 69-48. Laura Gil, the pride of Murcia. That's in the south of Spain. Here's Rodriguez, and she overshoots it.
Bench was up for that one. Saw it escaping over the far side of the basket.
But she's known for her three-point shooting. Huang Jing. Well, she's proved to be a pretty competent three-point shooter herself today. 69-51, back to an 18-point deficit.
Again, that scoreline just in the Canada game will flatter the losers, really.
Ana Cruz. Cruz goes in and fouls Li Ming. And that means free throws for Li Ming. So Spain will advance, and they will play the winner of Turkey's game tonight against Serbia. And you can see, actually, you could almost just see that camera angle, the Serbia coach, Marina Malkovic, looking on, doing a little bit of advanced scouting here, perhaps. Makes the free throw. So back to a 16-point deficit. Now Laura Gil. Over to Ana Cruz. Gil was a real scrapper last year. I felt like she was probably their toughest player other than Sancho Little. And you just wonder if she's, it's going to take a while to get back to that form. I think we would call her, in some parlance, like the hard man of Spain. And maybe she doesn't have quite back, it's not quite back for her. Mondello really likes her.
She's just happy to be a contributor right now, isn't she? 2 more shots here for China. They're going to eke out a few more points in this game, Jeff. It's going to get down to possibly 14.
Yiming makes the first. Well, it'll be the classification for China, so they'll have a chance to play some more games and get some more experience for players like Li. Second is good. Well, she was soft touch there. She's a big talent. She didn't really play that much here in Istanbul, here in the 4 games. Tamar. It's now a 14-point game. And Dominguez, some full court pressure. Hands it off to Gil. goes out on one of the top guards in Europe, Sylvia Dominguez. The switch. Dominguez over to Leonor Rodriguez. She passes to Pasqua, and Spain get another jumper here right at the end. And almost a travel, but that's how it finishes. 71-55. Spain march into the semifinals of the FIBA World Championship for women.
Well, 16 points. 16-point victory for Spain. It was 29 at one time. The breaks were let off in that fourth quarter by head coach Lucas Mondello. And Jeff, you have to say this is a team that will get better. They've got all the guns to really come up with gold, silver, or bronze. They should medal this team somewhere on the line. 44% was probably didn't do them justice. I thought they played a lot better than that. But for China, 38%, 14 of 37 in the end. Those numbers got definitely better as the game went on. The rebound it got better. Look at that, 5 in the end as far as China was concerned. So the statistics will flatter China somewhat. Because by the time they got going and playing at an even level, the game was well over. 23 turnovers for China. Way too much. The score there was Sun Mengran for Spain. Central Little. Jeff Central Little must have only played maybe 26 minutes in this game and used a 24-point game. 5 steals to boot as well.
Well, she's a class performer, Sancho Little, and overall for Spain, you know, they continue to move from strength to strength. They won the European title last year. Here they are in the semifinals of the FIBA World Championship for women for the second time in a row. Nichols had the 14 rebounds, and when you consider that Spain had to pull out all stops with almost a miracle comeback against France back in 2010, this time it's been a lot easier for them to move on in here. So thanks for watching, everybody. Spain win it 71-55.
the second section of the main event.